Welcome back to another Purpose Served podcast episode. I'm your host, Darryl Wingfield. This week is going to be a special podcast episode. Now, this podcast episode is going to be related to, I would want to say, episode 14, if you guys have been, on this journey with me. Now, while this episode is extremely special, I'm going to be talking about something very, very cool and something very special that's coming up. And this being the next level, I would want to say, conference that's coming up. And I had Raegan on this podcast, which is, she's the one that's hosting the entire event. And that's how I found her, through the first next level event that she had. And it was pretty cool. It was pretty dope stuff. It was a 4-day event where on different days the theme was something different. The first day, I believe that it was a mindset theme. So it was 3 speakers, each day, I believe. On like the first day, like I said, it was mindset. The second day, I believe it was finances, and the third day, I believe that it was habits. So that's how I found her. And I was looking at the people that was speaking and what they were speaking about, and hearing their journeys, and hear about how they came about, like discovering their business and discovering, their lives leading up to that point of the success that they started, and how young they were, when they're doing it. So everybody was around the age of, in their early 20s or mid 20s with what they were doing. But that's just, to me, it's something special when someone can, put those kind of minds together for a common cause. To me, that's like one of the most difficult things that you can do. Like, for anybody that has tried that before, it is not easy. And especially, I would want to say, on that type of caliber. And it's that sort of information, to me, is like what can like push somebody to be a better version of themselves, and the categories that is broken down to, like all of those things, that is something that we can key in on at any given point of our lives. It don't matter how old we are, there's always time and room to make room for like finances, and handling that, and handling your mindset, and like the different habits that you have throughout the day. These are all highly important to the person that you are and that you're going to continue to be, so why not, give these things some thought, and why not put action behind those thoughts? And hearing the type of way people go about handling all these different things is different, but it's highly applicable, like the way that they set it out, and also is hugely, like, it's motivating and it's inspiring to see other people that didn't have much, but just seeing that, they wanted to live like life to the highest version of themselves, and it's crazy because they all had a common theme, and like ideally they seen a vision of how they seen themselves, and they just carried out that plan, and ultimately through what they are doing in their life experiences, they are able now to break it down in such a way that anybody can understand it, that anybody can apply the information that was given. So I believe, like, how it worked, I was late to the party, everybody. I was late to the party, so I seen the event after the fact, so I was like, dang, man, I'm upset that I missed out on it, to like see it like live and direct. But Raegan has granted me the opportunity to be a speaker at the next level event that's coming up, and that will be, I believe, from May 26th to May 29th. Mark that in your calendars, folks. Mark it in your calendars. I'm truly excited for the opportunity to be one of the speakers for the event. Like I said, the last event was truly incredible and truly inspiring to see the people and their journeys and how they came about doing what they're doing. And ultimately, this is a recurring theme on this podcast as well, how I talk about the function of things and people finding their individuality through that function. Now, for example, there was I forgot the lady's name, but she was talking about imposter syndrome and the different ways that you can go about healing yourself from imposter syndrome and stuff like that. So there's all different types of ways that you can handle like any type of thing, but that in specific was a function, and that individual finding who they are through that function and learning from that, and in a way teaching in her own experience and in her own way of how to help other people that's struggling with imposter syndrome. And to me, that kind of stuff is so cool. And it's so cool, like I said, how it covers within a couple of days a wide range of subjects with different people talking about the same thing, because you just keep seeing a different lens on how to look at life and how to look at difficulties and problems that we struggle with every day. One of the speakers is talking about student loans and how to handle that and budgeting with that, and also paying yourself through that. So it's just so many incredible things. So I'm truly excited for what's to come with this next event. And personally, with me, in regards to the event, I'm going to be talking about mindset and how to get people in an action oriented mindset. And this is something that honestly I've been thinking about for an extremely long time now. I would want to say it's been going on for I would want to say 2 months. I've been really going down a rabbit hole of how to inspire people to take action, not for other people, but truly for themselves. And there's a lot of things that, I've been discovering about myself through thinking about these things and thinking about different ways to apply, some of the things to motivate people to take action for themselves. And that is, it's a difficult thing to I guess wrap your head around, because the conundrum that we in is we do a lot of things for other people before we would do it for ourselves and don't even be realizing it. Honestly, when have you really went throughout your day and lived it in the reverse, where you was living your life to help other people around you instead of living your life to help other people before you help yourself first? First off, I must say that is a draining process in itself, because you start to realize that you got a finite amount of energy, and also a lot of people aren't as appreciative for things when you do them for people. So if you fall along those lines, just make sure that the actions that you are doing for other people, that they're grateful and appreciative about what you do. And don't be one of those people that's doing things for energy vampires and people that's blatantly just draining your energy, and just using you. That's a no-go right there. If you're one of those people that's doing that, just stop. Let that whole situation go. It's for the best. It's going to be better for you. I think that would be a good thing to talk about in a future podcast. But back to Raegan. I had her on this podcast, like I said, probably 10 episodes back. But what a amazing person. And we're very, very similar in a way where she is getting people to think in such a unique way about themselves, and really showing people what they're truly capable of. And also what I think is really special about this next level event is that she's showing that to people through people. if you get what I'm saying. Like, she's showing that is like-minded people out there that if you are thinking this like that kind of way where you want to just do your own thing and help other people through doing your own thing, it's very well possible. It's not easy, but it's possible. And I commend her all the time about, it's especially not easy what she's doing. Like I said, just to have like people cooperate with each other, that is not an easy thing to do for one common goal. And the more people that you have on board, the more difficult that it is. But she's such a positive person, and then like I said, the way that she looks at things, I don't know if I'll be able to do it. It's something that I really do want to do, but it's just like, oh man, that's a lot to deal with. That's really, really a lot to deal with. But she's taking it on, and she's doing a really, really good job, at that as well. And for me, like, I would want to say last year and the years previously before that, I will read you guys like my goal paper. Actually, I got a special podcast in the cut for y'all, talking about me wanting to do a TED Talk. That's like my goal that's at the top of that list, That's at the very, very top of that list. I plan on doing that this year. I don't know how, but I will get it done, folks. Count on that. You have my word. But nah, seriously, like, all jokes aside, for me, I'm truly, truly grateful for this opportunity, because this is something that, I always wanted to do more than, playing basketball, which is crazy. Through basketball, it helped me discover that, putting somebody in the right direction of their dreams is something that, I love doing more than shooting a basketball. Before that, I didn't think that I like to do anything more than that. That was just like where it was at. But due to the fact, like I said, I was so passionate about basketball and so passionate about what I was doing while I was playing basketball, I wanted people to have that same feeling with whatever it is that they are trying to do. Because it's possible to achieve, and we all are into different things, but you can always, from what you're doing, motivate somebody else to create from what you're doing. And the best of the best, the maestros, that's what they do, and greatness appreciates greatness, like, for example, somebody like Tom Brady. If you've never seen football, you heard the name before. That's how crazy greatness works. And people who rarely watch football would watch Tom Brady because it's Tom Brady. But when you take a deeper look into these people, into their psyche, they are so passionate about what they do. They're extremely passionate about it. It's all they think about. It's all they know. And they truly embody whatever it is that they're doing. And this is something that I'm going to be talking about, as my presentation for Next Level, is like you have to immerse yourself in that person who you ideally see yourself as. And you have to see what that person would be doing. See who that person would be around, what their characteristics would be like. And you got to do whatever you can to pull those actions from that future event and bring it to right now in a form of playing through it. It's incredibly possible. But I noticed that that's a common theme, that people who are great in whatever they do is rarely enough they take the future and the sources and inspirations from the future of how they see themselves as when that time comes. And it's oftentimes it's not a picture, but it's more about what they see themselves doing more than anything, what they are doing. And doing is an action, and with action it creates a behavior pattern, and with that behavior pattern, that becomes you. You start to make the decisions and choices based off of that person that that you see yourself as. And this is something that's been guiding me along this whole entire time through thick and thin. And no matter what I've been through, you know, my goal was to inspire other people through what I'm doing. Now, at the time, I didn't know specifically what that would be, but I knew that it would be something, you know. But the more I started thinking about it more and more and more and more, like I said, I was already playing basketball. That was the main passion. That was the main goal. And still that is, because basketball is still teaching me different things about myself that, you know, I didn't know and I'm still discovering. But it opened up a whole nother door with me starting Purpose Served, you know. And just like I said, even having this podcast and getting my ideas and thoughts out there, you know, that before they would be stuck in my head or with the conversations with the people that I have. But now I can reach other people that, you know, I probably won't ever see, you know, won't ever probably hear from, you know, but at the same time, I'm getting it out there. And I truly, truly hope that this podcast, I say this all the time, but that is taking a positive effect on your life, and I hope it's making you look at life in a different lens than what you was looking at it before, in a way where you're looking at things as an opportunity to learn and grow and take action for your higher self and your well-being, you know. Because I was having a conversation with Mikey, and Mikey, if you're listening to this, man, what's up? I know that you are, man, such a cool dude. But I just met Mikey last week at the basketball court randomly, sitting there just shooting around, and we just started talking. And this kid is so he's so wide-eyed, ears perked up, man. He listens and he has 1,000,001 questions. But I was telling him that's an amazing trait to have. And, you know, pretty much he's asking me questions about, you know, how to eliminate distractions and everything, you know. And I'm asking him, you know, what's the opposite of distractions? And he's saying focus. And I'm like, dang, like, that's crazy. That's a great answer, because he's exactly right. But, you know, through Mikey, I realized that there's people out there that's actively seeking these things and actively, you know, looking for this information, or looking for people that's sharing the same experience that they are having with life. And, you know, if you're one of those people, first off, download the podcast, like the podcast, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're one of those people, you know, leave a comment. I would love to talk to you guys. But ultimately, you're headed in the right direction. You know, you're just the type of person that, you know, that is more to you than the things that you see on Instagram and on TV and the distractions that come on through your phone. And it's hard to get past that stuff, you know, because you got to look at it more than surface level, and that takes some time. And ultimately, what separates yourself from understanding the world that's around you is simply awareness, you know. And I had a conversation with my mom and my brother yesterday about this, and talking about how pretty much knowledge is that key that's going to give you the awareness that you need to understand the world that's going on around you. For example, if you did not know how to read and write, you're going to be living in a world where your perspective is going to be off. What's up? But you're going to be living in a world where your perspective is going to be off. You're not going to understand signs. You're not going to understand, you know, menus when you go out to eat. For restaurants, you're not going to understand how to read directions. But these are all things at some point was a skill that we had to learn and develop, you know, due to the fact of how young we was learning these skills to develop them. You know, you look back at it now and it's just like, oh, that ain't nothing. But that's very, very crucial. And if you break things like that down in your life with what you want to do, with that knowledge, creating that. But I heard this, this ain't me, so don't quote me on this, but I don't remember where I heard this from. But the person said that we overestimate what we can do in a long period of time, and we underestimate what we can do in a short period of time. So just to break that down, most people, when they're looking far into the future, 5 years from now, they are thinking too grand about what they're capable of. But when it comes to a day, most people shortchange themselves on what they can achieve in one day. They underestimate themselves. And if you try to flip that around and overestimate what you can do in a day and underestimate what you could do in the future, you can turn into a beast. You know what I mean? But that's why them days, them seconds, them minutes, they add up. You have to be very critical about that, because time don't wait for anybody. We all have an expiration date. Sooner or later, your time is going to come. So why not apply yourself now? Why not apply yourself when you wake up tomorrow morning? You're going to have the time. Don't waste it. Just use it. And then after a while, you're going to build up a habit of this person that you're turning into. So things won't seem like a task. You know, you're just being you. You're just being that person that you set out to be. And slowly but surely, I started figuring out these things. And honestly, I am truly blessed and I'm truly grateful for, like, I guess, me starting to figure out these things and think in this particular way, because the people that I'm starting to meet and be introduced to is truly changing my life. And Raegan is one of those people. And for that, like, I'm truly, you know, appreciative and grateful for what she's doing and what she's done for me. Like, I'm going to leave all the information for Next Level in the description below of this podcast. Also, I'm going to be talking about this in these next couple of weeks coming up right before the event. So please stay tuned, and you guys should honestly check out her page, look at the other speakers, and just, you know, look at the Instagram and see the type of things and information that she has presented and other speakers have presented as well. It's honestly truly awesome, and it's truly special. And this is going to be the end of the podcast, folks. Thank you guys for listening yet again. For everybody that's listening, serve your purpose. And thank you guys. I love y'all, like, for real. And show your support. Download the podcast. You know, like the video on YouTube. You know, follow me on Instagram, Twitter. I do have to do better with posting and stuff like that, but I'm one of those people that just get so wrapped up in what I'm doing. Sometimes I just forget about a lot of things, man, and just get wrapped up in this world that, you know, I've created for myself. But I really do appreciate you guys for showing your support and tuning in every single week and downloading the podcast. For that, I truly love you guys. And yet again, you guys have a good one. Serve your purpose. I am out. Deuces.